Political turmoil, tensions between the host nations, the Mexican cartel going crazy, Infantino just being Infantino at this point. These are all relevant issues when it comes to the 2026 World Cup, but I don't want to talk about any of that. Maybe a little bit in regards to Infantino. What I want to do is dive into the event itself, the growth of soccer in the United States of America, and how the 2026 World Cup could fail to be the perfect storm that many of us were expecting it would be. Hello. If you're new here, I'm Filippo, and welcome to Tactical Manager TV. And today we have a very interesting episode. It might be a little bit controversial. Sure, that could be. But I want to talk about the 2026 World Cup. And it's something that's been noticeable in the United States, which is the lack of nationwide hype, which is a bit odd. Usually there is a nationwide hype when you're hosting a World Cup. We're like 3 months away. And outside of like small soccer niches in this country, most don't seem to care. That's a fact. And listen, soccer is growing in America. That's also a fact. But it feels like the World Cup, while being hosted here, would be the perfect moment to bring in the casual sports fans in America. But I'm also not seeing that so far. There are no pop culture ads, lack of advertisement, FanFest, and billboards on non-host cities, because that's how you're going to get the entire country behind the event, and much more that we're going to talk about throughout the video. I feel like it's not being maximized in the United States. I could be wrong. That's just how I feel. But we're going to talk about all of that with Pete from 11 Yanks. And mind you, I live in Florida. He lives in California. So we're going to get two very different perspectives. And I want to say two things before we start. Actually, three things. One, drop a like in this video if you haven't already. The second one is that I'm going to end this video with a positive outlook. Okay? I think there are concerns, but there's still a lot of positive things that we can talk about as well. So it's not going to be all negative. And the other thing I want to ask you is this. Let me know in the comment section down below. Where do you live, if you're comfortable giving us that? Maybe don't give the city or just the state, city, whatever you want to do. And where you live, have you seen billboards? Have you seen advertisement? Is there some World Cup hype outside of your little niche? Like, try to go on the macro, like your entire city. Let me know in the comment section down below, where do you live, and are you feeling that World Cup hype at your location? With that said, once again, drop a like right now. I will not be asking during the video. Let's roll the intro and start the episode. All right, everyone. Today we have a fun episode. You know what? Because very often when me and Pete are very critical of something, there are those who support us. There are those who kind of just like call us haters and are just not very happy with what we have to say. But there's one thing that unites us all, Pete. I think there's not a single soul in this country that likes Infantino, besides a few people like in power. But the average soccer fan, no one likes Infantino. I would also argue that most don't like FIFA. And we're about to shit on them a lot. So.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see a few comments of people being like, you know, what are you going to do? Like, you know, you can't, well, the free market argument of like the prices are what they are and there's a huge demand. What are you going to do? You know, like that nonsense. Just, you know, classic socialism for the rich and free market capitalism for the poor.
Yeah, we'll talk about everything FIFA is doing. I firmly believe in the free market, but we're going to talk about why FIFA is not about that. We'll get to it very soon. But let me talk about one thing, little history lesson that everyone should know here. Soccer in the United States of America was mostly non-existent in the late 80s, right after NASL folded. That was the league that had Pele and many other legends. In the 1994, even though the U.S. did play in the 1990 World Cup, 1994 was the one that pushed soccer in this country to mainly what it is today, right? It got us so far. Obviously, now we need to take the next step. The 1994 World Cup forced the United States to create Major League Soccer, which we criticize Major League Soccer a lot. But again, having a professional league with money, MLS has money, was very important for soccer in America. It helped the U.S. also progress as a national team. We've only missed one World Cup since, which was 2018. So a lot has gotten better. The problem is, the way I feel is outside of like immigration, I haven't really seen the sport actually grow in this country how it should. Maybe in the past like 4 years, the way it should, right? Just
Yeah.
more organically. There's no issue with it growing with immigration, but I want to see it also grow within the American community. And it
Can
feels
I
like
read real quick, Tack? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and I feel like me and you even we've been talking about this for like 5 years. The next big thing that would push the soccer in this country was not Messi coming here. It was the World Cup being hosted in America. And the way we're feeling right now is that it's going to be a success. It's going to be great, the World Cup. But we're feeling like it's failing to its potential of being that catalyst. But go ahead.
So I wanted to read. Thomas Mueller did an interview yesterday about soccer in North America, and by North America he meant Canada and the United States, not Mexico, because it's a completely different thing over there. But I thought it was a very interesting, succinct explanation of soccer in North America. Did you see this?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I'll just read what he said. He said, "You must separate two different things. Football here still has no big significance in the life of the general population. It's not spoken about in the office on a Monday morning. But the football bubble is not, in fact, so small. In the stadia, there's euphoric atmosphere. The people are interested in the game. The rest of the population doesn't know the football bubble at all. They have other topics in sports. They grew up with ice hockey, basketball, and American football." And then he goes on to basically compare it to like handball in Germany, which I think it's a lot bigger than handball in Germany. But
Mhm.
the point he's trying to make is that like within the soccer bubble in the United States and Canada, passionate, knowledgeable fans, but it doesn't exist outside that bubble. Do you know how many actors I've told in Los Angeles, oh yeah, the World Cup is here this year? And they've gone, what? Right? And you say, oh, they're actors. They don't know. Yeah, but they watch the Super Bowl. They watch the Olympics, right? Like outside of the soccer bubble, they don't even know the World Cup is happening, most people, which is insane to me,
Mhm.
especially in a host city like Los Angeles.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one of the biggest cities in the United States of America, right? So it should be you should be getting like nationwide hype. We're not going to get that. It's very obvious, and we're going to address that very soon to why we're not getting that. Yes, a portion of it is cultural. You're right, but that's the goal. That's what we're talking about in the World Cup. Is we want to break that cultural barrier. We want to be more inclusive with people that are maybe not soccer fans, they're casuals, but hey, come watch.
Yeah.
And if you bomb it in their face, just keep showing it to them. They might like, hey, let me go check this out. But let me
Yeah.
show you a few things of like I want to start by saying that one of the biggest failures in this World Cup has been due to greed. Greed has been a big issue. And I want to show this to everyone. And we're going to get to the ticket prices where there are people that just love defending this for some reason. I honestly. Oh, hey, it's me interrupting myself. Before we continue, a quick word from the sponsor of this video, F-Pro. If you have a kid and you want to help them get early engagement with the ball, which will help them develop their soccer skills at a very young age, you're going to want to check this out, okay? We'll be back very soon. Do you have a young son or young daughter and you want to help them develop their soccer skills? You know I'm very much pro youth development, right? And ball mastery. And what if I told you it can be done at home? And there's a product that can actually help you. And that's why today we're partnering up with F-Pro. And you may be wondering, what is F-Pro? It is a gamified soccer fundamentals training system for kids. It combines two main parts, an F-Pro app and the soccer training mat, so the kids can have fun and train from home. So the mat has numbered zones to guide the movement. The app shows you how to do it. It's also built by UEFA coaches, so every single drill is designed for real skill growth. There's also a skill progression. It starts easy, adapts to every level, unlocks as kids improve. And it feels like a video game. You earn XP, badges, trophies. It's just a way to keep the kids motivated. And you may be wondering, why does it work? Well, pretty straightforward, because repetition builds muscle memory. And ball mastery is key for youth soccer development at early ages. They also have many subscription plans. Some of them are less than $10 a month, so you can go check them out yourself. And remember, for your kid to develop and become a better soccer player, it's not just about doing drills. They have to enjoy it. They have to fall in love with the ball. And that's one thing that I believe F-Pro does. Okay, so now if you want to, make sure to use the link in the description of this video and you will get 20% off if you also use the code Tactical Manager. So use the link in the description and the promo code Tactical Manager. And in the process, you'll also be helping the channel. Thank you very much, F-Pro. Don't get it. They love to talk about like free market and everything. So let's go through the price differences of the ticket prices, and then we can obviously talk about my thoughts on it, your thoughts on it. So this is 2022 versus 2026. So these are World Cups that are kind of close, right? Because we don't want to compare the prices from 1994 till now, because there's been inflation, different times, and blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
opening match, and these are category one. So these are the most expensive tickets. If you get also the numbers for category 3 or 2, it's also a massive gap. But we're using here just category one, so you can see the most expensive ones in Qatar versus the most expensive ones in the 2026 World Cup. So let's go. Opening match, $618, okay, in Qatar. In the US Mexico World Cup, 2,735. Now, mind you, the opening match here's in Mexico. So my point here, the problem is not America, it's FIFA. Okay, just to
Yeah.
make that clear. That opening match right there is in Mexico. Just want to make that clear.
Between Mexico and South Africa.
Exactly. Yeah, Mexican South Africa, not a very attractive game outside of like Mexicans and
Yeah.
South Africans. Okay, group stage matches. The most expensive one in Qatar, $220. The one here, 575. Okay, which I even think it's more, but those are the FIFA prices, right? They're not the
Right.
resale
This is
market.
before the scalping has started.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't
This
we'll
is
talk about the
pre-scalping.
scalping. Yes. Round of 16, 275, the most expensive in Qatar, 890 in the US. You know what? 275 for round of 16 game, most expensive tickets there. I think that's a pretty good price. That is fair
That's
for a World
reasonable.
Cup.
Yeah, that's very reasonable.
890 from FIFA, insane. Now it gets worse. Quarterfinals, it goes to 426 in Qatar. It starts to get pricey. And then in the United States, 1,690, pretty much 1,700, essentially 4 times, right? If you look at each ticket price, it's almost 4x. It's 3 to 4x each time.
Yeah.
Semifinals in Qatar, 956, the most expensive one. In the United States, semifinals 2,700. Third place match, who cares? Final in Qatar,
Hey, if we're in it, we will care.
dude. If we're in it, then okay. Let's hope we're
That's
in
a
it.
World
But
Cup final for us if we're in that.
for us, it is. It's okay. Sorry, third place. Third place would be 426 in Qatar, 1,000 in the United States. If the US is there, hey, 1,000 might even be a bargain. Final, 1,607 in Qatar, 6,370 in the United States. We're getting to like Super Bowl prices, right? Because the scalpers market will be much higher than this.
Oh yeah,
So
I saw like $20,000, $30,000 tickets on the scalpers market.
yeah, and some people might pay, but when we talk about this, it's an interesting topic because it shouldn't be really controversial. I don't know why anyone would defend FIFA making more profit or less profit when ultimately the goal of FIFA should be they're a nonprofit. They should be trying to grow the game. That should be the goal number one. If they can make a profit or a big profit so they can reinvest, which, guys, let's be honest, they're not reinvesting. The money's going in shady ways to different people. All right. So let's cut the
Yeah,
crap.
if you look a little, they'll talk a lot about how FIFA's doing a lot to grow the game
Allegedly.
and like developing nations and stuff. And then you look into it, and it's like the heads of football federations are pocketing multi-million dollar, grants by FIFA, which then turn into votes for the right guy who gave them the grant because everyone has an equal vote. But that's a different story.
Allegedly, because we're not trying to get a lawsuit here against these people, even though I don't think they would want a lawsuit as well, because we might
Yeah,
start diving into
Discovery could
things.
be really fun.
Yeah, I would actually would love that. So, with that said about the tickets, people are going to say, but the free market, you can buy and resell it. Like, Pete, I can buy a Pokemon toy right there, a collectible in Japan for $50, and I can sell it here for 1,000. Sure, you can do that. Pokemon's not going to really control the resale market of a toy, right?
Sure.
But here's the thing with tickets. FIFA made their own platform, right, to buy and sell tickets. They made their own platform. And then they used dynamic pricing, which dynamic pricing was just their bullshit excuse to jack up the prices. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And the ultimate thing about it is when you make your own platform where you can buy and sell tickets, FIFA can cap the resale market. They can
Yeah.
literally sell it. They can sell it. They can sell the ticket, and let's say Pete buys it, and then Pete doesn't really want to resell it, but he can't go, so you have to resell it. You can
Yeah.
resell it and recoup your entire money as long as there's a buyer, and I'm sure there would be a buyer. And people are going to say you can't cap the prices. That's not free market. Guess what, idiot? You can. You know why? Free market comes into government intervention. FIFA is a private entity, right?
Yeah.
So they can cap their prices if they want to, and free market allows you to do that. If
Yeah.
you are in the free market and you are a company, a corporation, like what's stopping Apple? If Apple says, you know what, iPhones are $1,000, we want to cap it at 600, we want to make it cheaper. That's free
Yeah.
market. You can do that. And if
Yeah.
FIFA should actually do something like this with the goal of making more money in the future because they make the
Yes.
sport more inclusive, they draw more fans, more families, and in the future they'll make a lot more money. But the problem is, if you're in power, Pete, right now, and you're not going to be in power maybe 4 years from now, let's say Infantino or someone else,
Yeah.
you kind of just care more about the now. You want to make the
Yeah.
more money now. So again, anyone with the free market bullshit, stop it. Free market, you know what it would be? If the Trump government came up and said FIFA cannot sell for more than this amount, that would be ruining the free market.
Yeah.
But FIFA can cap it, and it's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
government
it's
intervention.
pure greed. It's pure greed. We know this. FIFA, their goal is not to grow the game. They're not, their goal is not to make the game accessible to all. It is not to help the game find a foothold in, places like the United States where it's still gaining popularity, or India. There aren't many places in the world left where soccer is not the number one sport, right? But the US and India are two of them, right?
China.
China, I don't know if it's the number one sport there or not. I think gymnastics might be their number one sport.
Well, if it's number one, they freaking suck because they have like a billion people and they still are not good at the number one sport.
Yeah, but that's because of bad practice, right? Like that, it can be the most popular sport, and you can still in Thailand, for example, it's a 60 million. That's as big as the UK. Football, soccer is 100% the number one top sport, and they're still bad at it because of bad practice, right? So
Mhm.
I don't know if it's the number one sport in China. It's definitely not in India. It's definitely not in the United States, but it could be with the right amount of marketing, and the right amount of bringing the game to them and inviting people who would not normally watch the game to say, hey, come be a part of this. Here's some accessible pricing for you and your family.
Why don't you read
FIFA
what's on screen?
FIFA are charging $225 for disabled parking spaces for games at MetLife Stadium this summer, and up to $300 at SoFi Stadium outside LA. So these are for disabled people who can't even necessarily walk to the game, right? So they have to park there. $300.
No,
Insane.
and it's parking. Are you trying to just milk the crap out of fans, or are you trying to bring in
Yes,
more
that's
fans?
exactly what they're trying to do.
Like they're literally just trying to get wealthy people to go, and they can milk as much as they can. They're not trying to grow the game. And it's what we were saying earlier in this video. This would have been the perfect storm to push soccer in this country more than ever,
Yeah.
where FIFA can hurt their profits a little bit, even though they should try to get a profit. It shouldn't be their number one goal. But
But
that is
also,
being
we talk about ticket prices as the only or the primary profit for the primary profit is TV revenue. That is the primary profit for FIFA. If you do the right marketing, sure, there are lots of people that are not going to be able to go to the game, whatever the prices are, because the stadiums have fixed capacity, right? But the marketing of inviting Americans to come and watch this sport is not there. Like, imagine you're gonna get incredible numbers when the US plays. I have no doubt you're gonna get 30, 40 million, people watching. That could be triple that with the right marketing, right?
Yes, and we can talk about how they can at least get the profits from these tickets that they're selling and do something with it during the World Cup. We'll talk about that in a second, but I want to show you one thing. One, I want to show news that came out today as we're recording, which was interesting, the timing, right? This video is being released like 2 or 3 days after. But look at this. The New York Times actually released an article today. I even shared it on X and on Instagram. And it says FIFA opens surprise ticket sales for 2026 World Cup matches after a sold out claim from you know what? Infantino himself
Yeah, I remember this.
on
He said
CNBC.
150 million ticket requests were there, right?
Yeah, it was something like that. I said it was sold out. So Infantino, February 19th, we're recording this March 2nd. Okay. February 19th, he said that all 104 matches were sold out. That's what Infantino said. But there it is. It says, but a FIFA source later clarified. So now they corrected it, even though for a guy that's very well spoken, that's a big mistake because he's very well spoken, right? If there's something this guy knows how to do is like bullshit in public. Later clarified that he meant full houses were expected. That's not what he said. He said it was sold out. That's what it says right there. And then starting around February 25th, sales reopened for category 1 and 2. So the more expensive ones that we showed, it reopened in at least 64 games. And the World Cup has 104. So that's over half. That's over half. Aimed at previous lottery applicants who missed out, because a lot of the applicants, they're not applying for category 1 or 2 because it's so expensive. They're going for 3, right? Most of them, because they want to experience the game. Again, you want to know my opinion on this, like why he said it was sold out? It drives FOMO. I think that's what it was. Like if you say it's sold out, it just comes like, oh shit, if I have to pay that price, I have to buy it, the new one. And he lied because, I'm sorry, he's a professional bullshitter.
Well, also, it's PR move, right? Everyone's criticizing the prices, and he's like, guys, it's sold out. What do you want me to do? People buy, there's demand for this. Oh, now maybe there might not be actually demand to pay $2,500 for a ticket to watch two B teams, USA and Paraguay. Not B teams, I mean like not top teams play soccer at the World Cup.
I watched a video. I think Maxwell put a video out where he was going through ticket prices, and it was like something like New Zealand and Iran, the cheapest ticket, like $300.
Yeah. No, my girlfriend actually texted me about a week ago. She's like, babe, I found us World Cup tickets in LA, in SoFi for $300. I was like, sure enough, it was like the furthest seat back for Iran, New Zealand at like, which might not even happen right now. Who knows if that game's even going to happen?
Yeah, that's true.
For $350, right? Iran may or may not even be at the World Cup.
We can just invite North Korea. They have the same appeal.
No, Iran's got much bigger appeal. Are you kidding? Huge appeal.
Are you kidding? I would totally go watch a North Korea game.
Dude, the amount of, at least in LA, the amount of Iranians in Los Angeles, they would definitely tune in to watch Iran.
But North Korea.
Zero North Koreans would watch. There's no North Koreans.
Just Kim Jong-un. But so we talked about the ticket prices. We briefly touched upon like the solution to the ticket prices, right? Which again, it's no like what we just suggested right there. It's actually not that hard to implement, but
no,
whatever.
You keep it all on the same platform, and you only allow somebody to sell at the same price at which they bought. Simple.
Yes, and they get a commission every time it resells, so they get extra money. That's fine. I don't mind that. And they're saying, and I just wanted to show, because we talked also about the lack of like pop culture, advertisement, billboards, everything for the World Cup. I know there was this dude, this very old man online. It's always an old man. And I'm sorry if there's old people watching this. You might be a cool old guy, but it's always an old man that comes with like the dumbest possible takes in the world. Before I talk about Tom Brady here, I talked about how they weren't advertising the World Cup properly, in my opinion, nationwide. And then this dude was like, I can prove you. He made a whole video online. I didn't know who this guy was. Now I still don't know who he is, but he has like an Instagram account. He's like, here's the evidence that they're advertising. And he showed me a freaking Coca-Cola can that had 26 on it, the World Cup logo. And I was like, interesting. That is really good marketing right there. I'm sure that'll draw a lot of attention to the World Cup. A Coca-Cola can with a freaking logo 26 on it that half of this country doesn't even know what it is.
Yeah, they probably just think it's the year 2026.
Yes, it's just it's always an old dude, man. It's always a guy. It's always the over 60 crowd. It's always the over 60 crowd.
The over 60 crowd does, not all of them, but a lot of them do seem to love the establishment. I think it's a cultural thing. They tend to defend establishment more than younger people.
Yeah. Okay, and then we talked about like lack of like pop culture ads. I thought FIFA really messed up of not having like they should have had like an incredibly well done ad in the Super Bowl. They should have had that in the Super Bowl World Cup year. They should have done it. Instead, they had an ad on the Spanish version of Super Bowl, like on Telemundo with Owen Wilson. It was interesting. It was Owen Wilson and Sofia Vergara, I believe, which was an interesting ad. But let's be real. Most people are watching the Super Bowl on English-speaking channels, especially the casual American sports.
Not just that, the Hispanic audience knows the World Cup is happening. Like, come on, can we be honest? They know it's happening. We don't need to advertise to them.
Are you sure they don't have to remind me and you that the World Cup's coming? Are you sure?
It's ridiculous. It's like preaching to the choir. Why are you spending dollars trying to tell whoever, Jorge, who's a Pumas fan, that the world he knows the world is here. He's been waiting for it. He's been trying to
Yeah,
get tickets for a long time.
they should have been going
Uh,
for the Taylor Swift crowd.
yes. Or the NFL crowd, the March Madness crowd, right? The college football crowd. Where are they? You know, like get them. You're
Yeah.
right. There should have been a huge Super Bowl ad
A
with like,
viral.
Christian Pulisic, Lionel Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, Yamal, like all these guys doing like even if they're just like, that thing where they juggle the ball and pass it to each other, whatever it is, that should have been blasted on our televisions in Super Bowl to get America
Or I'll
excited.
tell you one thing. I don't know how much of an impact that would have with like the casual sports fans, because some of them they know Messi and Ronaldo for sure. They don't care. Why not just have an ad, a very patriotic ad? Because most people watching are American, right? The Super Bowl, like 100+ million are American here, and they're sports fans for the most part, or Taylor Swift fans. Even though she wasn't, her boyfriend wasn't on the final, so maybe she wasn't there watching. Just a very like kind of like patriotic ad with big USA moments, like the John Brooks goal in 2014, Lyndon Donovan versus Algeria, Tim Howard making saves, and someone, a celebrity, narrating it, and then talking about like something like that that would give people goosebumps. So the soccer fans would just be, I'm ready for this. And the new guys were like, I'm gonna have to watch this, and kind of like hype them, just saying this is our time. The golden generation's here.
Yeah, you could
Try
have
to
like
like,
this is what past generations did, and now this generation is trying to top it, right? And then you
yes, with
bring
like
in,
big moments like Lendon scoring against Algeria, the players jumping on each other. Howard saves, go back to like beating Mexico in 2002.
yeah, again,
There's
Landon,
just
Landon's
there's just
winning goal.
yeah, fans like FanFest, people celebrating. They could have done something like that in the Super Bowl, and it would have reached millions and millions of Americans all at once. And
Yeah.
that's not even to drive like ticket sales; it's just to draw interest so more people watch.
And hype. Yeah, and there should be billboards in every city, in every major city, especially the host cities. I live in Los Angeles. We have billboards everywhere for TV shows mostly and movies. Why not, like off the 405 or the 101 coming into downtown, massive billboards for the World Cup? It's coming, Los Angeles. Like I don't understand why there's just, it seems they have adopted the US soccer model of like, we're not really trying to get new fans. We're just trying to fleece the existing fans as much as possible. It's
It's
easier to
working.
fleece an existing fan than build a new fan. That seems to be their model.
Well, one is long term, the other's now. They go for the now. All
Yeah.
right. They're like dogs. They only think about the present. Just like I
Yeah.
gotta eat this. Doesn't matter if you'll kill me right now. I gotta eat it. So I just want to say, because we talked about like lack of celebrities that they're bringing in, pop culture stuff, proper ads, and then you also get guys like Tom Brady that are completely out of touch with what's going on in the sport. And this is what Tom. I'm not going to play the clip because it's on Fox, and I don't
Yeah.
want to risk them putting any copyright strike or anything. Even though I don't think they would for this, I'm not going to risk it because the main quote is here. He said, I think Gianni Infantino is a man of the people. It's one of the most outrageous, insane things I've heard someone say about this World Cup. And look, the bar is low. The bar is freaking low right now. There's a lot of stupid shit being said all over the place. But this right here, man, this is one of the worst things that have happened in 2026. And we have like 7 wars going on, insane files coming out. And this is one of the worst things I've seen.
I don't understand how you can be such a shill. Like, come on, Like it'd be one thing to say, Johnny's misunderstood. He actually does a lot of good, but it's just like straight up, like not even trying to hide it. I think he's a man of the people. That's why tickets are thousands and thousands of dollars. He's a man of the people.
Well, not just that, right? You got to remember what he did to the people of Qatar, or not really the migrant workers of Qatar.
Sure.
Are those people? I think they're people.
How
What did he
many
do to
how many
them?
died building the stadiums in slavery? 75,
I don't want
78?
to. I don't want to put a number because I don't know by on top of my head. But it was one
It
is
was a
too
lot.
much, right? One is too many.
Yeah.
Also, how Qatar got the World Cup, even though I think
Yeah.
that was pre-Infantino, but he went on with it regardless,
Yeah.
changing the dates for it. In the United States, is he really doing what is best for the people right now? Not really, right? He's not.
No.
So it's just they're all out of touch. The other thing I want to talk about is the only World Cup that I've actually gone to in my life in person. that I mean, right? Was 2014 Brazil, right? It was during the summer. I flew back to Brazil for it. I had a friend's house, just stay there. Went to one game, France and Germany in Rio de Janeiro. But I'll tell you what, one of my favorite experiences in that World Cup, obviously the vibe, but that goes from a cultural thing, right? Brazil, South America have a different soccer culture. But I went to the FanFest that they had in Rio de Janeiro, and it was incredible because you get fans from both national teams. The game I watched at the FanFest was actually the Costa Rica Greece in the round of 16. That
Wow.
was insane. The Costa Ricans were there. The Greeks, they were fun. The Greeks and the Brazilians. It was an incredible experience. And it was free. It was packed. It was actually right. It was at the beach, which was insane to me. Now, this is a great way to get people to go and experience the World Cup. And I'm sure a lot of people would go if you're advertising this in college campuses and not even teenagers, but young adults. People will love to go there. You can sell some beer. People love it.
Well,
But
Chicago, when I was in Chicago in the 2014 World Cup, Chicago had a fan fest in Lincoln Park. It was big screen viewing, all the fans there. It wasn't even here. And we were showing it was for the US games. And it
yeah,
wasn't even here.
and this is what's wild to me. We're gonna have the fan fest in all the host cities. Are they gonna be good, bad? They're probably gonna be good. I think they'll be good. They were trying to charge prices for the first time. They were gonna charge entry for the one in New Jersey, New York, the one near
Yeah.
MetLife. They were gonna charge entry for the first time ever in a fan fest. That didn't work out. It looks like it because I think also people wouldn't want to pay. That's not the
Yeah.
purpose of it. But if I was trying to grow the sport in this game, US Soccer and FIFA would try to work together where FIFA has a portion of the profit, or even with local governments, right? Isn't like the Trump administration going to give like 900 million to the host cities? Try to like since they
Some
already
of which
love.
haven't received that money yet.
Yeah, there's that too. We're not going to get into that, but so it's just kind of like you're already putting money into this, and FIFA also has a lot of profit from it in general, the ticket price and everything. Reinvest in that. For example, Orlando is a growing city in the United States. A lot of tourists, a lot of Brazilians, a lot of Venezuelans, Puerto Ricans. There's no fan fest here from FIFA. And if you go on to other cities, like you should have a fan fest in Vegas. That's not
You
a
should have a
host city.
fan fest in every city that has more than a million people.
Every major
Yeah.
city out there. Phoenix.
Anything above a million people, bam, that should easily be a fan fest there.
I don't think
And
we
to
have
be
a million
honest,
in Orlando. I don't think we have a million here. I think it's like 800K in Metro
that's
Orlando.
close enough, right? Like, and to be honest, some of these big cities like New York, LA, Chicago, there should be like two or three. Because yeah, the population of LA is 9 million, right?
Mhm.
One fan fest might not be enough. That's okay, right? Have three. Have one in the valley, have one on the west side, have one close to downtown. Now, wherever you are, you've got a fan fest near you, you know?
So I think in those cities they're going case by case. A few might have more than one. I heard Seattle's going to have three or something. That's another big city.
Good.
But
Seattle's also a big soccer city.
the thing is, having a fan fest on a host city is an obvious thing, right? That city should be all World Cup talk during the World Cup, which I think it will be. But if
Yeah.
you want to grow the sport in America, and that's where I see where this World Cup is failing. It's not really reaching all these places. You should have fan fest in major cities that, let's say, all major cities that have soccer. For example, Phoenix, we know they have a USL team that is popular. Detroit, they have a USL team that is popular. Orlando, they have such a big like South American community. It will pack. I can assure you,
Yeah.
I live here. It
Yeah.
will pack.
I mean,
Orlando,
Chicago's not a host city. Don't get me started on why, but they should. Absolutely.
Vegas. Do you think a free fan fest in Vegas is not going to pack?
Denver.
Denver, like these places that have a soccer team, sure, you don't need to put it in freaking Arkansas where like no one might go. Like,
Right.
sure, there's not much you can do about that. Wyoming
Sure.
might not have many places also that anyone will go, but in major cities that you do have some popularity of the sport and sports teams like NBA teams, NFL teams, they should do it, promote it. People will go. It's a free event. It's America playing. They should have it. But apparently only the host cities will have it. And I even did some research here using our beloved friend Google, not AI, Google. And they even said that the marketing is heavily focused. This was what they were looking up. And it's like marketing was heavily focused on soccer loving demographics, particularly with Hispanic communities in the US. as well as the 11 host cities, rather than a broad, more generic sports approach. That's the mistake that you were talking about, where they're advertising the World Cup to people that live and breathe the sport, and they absolutely know that it's going to be here.
Yeah. It's so crazy to me. It's like you're trying to sell Ford trucks, right? So you go, who has a brand new Ford truck? Let's market to them. Let's try to sell them a different Ford. No, they have one. They're not going to buy one. Go market to the guy who doesn't have a truck.
Yeah, and well, I think we've talked about a lot of all these issues, problems that the World Cup has had. We talked about possible, like very simplistic solutions, right? Like easy
Yes.
solutions that could have been addressed. Obviously, if you get very smart people together, they might even have better plans. By that I
Yeah.
mean leaving Fantino out of the meeting, and let the smart people
Today
think.
I feel smart.
Oh boy.
Can you imagine what his opening? I want to know what his speech is going to be on opening day, right? He's going to definitely go like viral for some nonsense he's going to say.
Remember, he compared himself to the migrant workers that died in Qatar because his
Yeah,
parents migrated from Italy to Switzerland. Remember, he
it's
did that?
insane. Well, he also said he was gay. I don't know how he felt gay all of a
No, he didn't
sudden.
say he was gay. He said that today he
He felt
felt
gay.
gay.
Yeah, he said, today I feel gay. I'm not sure how you feel gay one day. I think what he was trying to do was show solidarity, but you gave the World Cup to people who execute you for being gay. So I don't know. If I'm Qatar, I'm like, wait a minute, arrest him.
Yeah, also, yeah, he was took some balls to say that there. Was he in Qatar when he said? I don't know if he was there.
Yes, he was there. He was there.
Maybe Tom Cruise walked in front of him and he's like, today I feel gay. I don't know. Well, it's like, buddy, I got one thing to tell you. If Tom Cruise walked by you and you felt something right there, you don't feel gay today. You might be actually gay.
You're definitely gay.
Yeah. So, but anyhow, that's our beloved Infantino. Want to end this on a positive outlook, Pete, or do you have anything else to criticize
No,
here?
I think we, have talked about the problems for half an hour. It's long enough.
Hmm. Which a lot of them are obvious problems. It's kind of funny that,
Yeah,
and also they're not controversial. There's like pretty obvious
you
stuff,
would.
but
I hope not. I'm curious to see the comments on this.
hey, man, leave my favorite billionaire alone. There's always that
Yeah,
guy online.
I like to shill for billionaires.
Yeah, and again, I'm gonna say this once again. I am all for the free market. What I'm saying is FIFA can do a better job in doing their job. Their job is not to maximize profits. That's my point.
It should grow the game. Yeah,
It's to grow the game and then collect profits to reinvest in the game. They've given grants out and money to federations like Jamaica. That what's the point when they're just you know what they do with it? It's like
we all know where that money goes. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Like the amount of cases of that happening all over the world, and all they're getting from that is a vote, right? Gianni Infantino now gets the vote from that federation, and federations, people in those federations love to pocket the money. It doesn't go back into the game.
no. Which is Jamaica is a great example of a soccer loving country that things don't move forward literally because of corruption.
Yeah,
Literally, like Jamaica,
India too.
but Jamaica has also the athletic potential, right? You see them on track and field; they have the fastest athletes in the world.
Yeah,
If you get those guys and you do proper soccer development, get out of the way. That's a scary team right there.
yeah,
Um, but a positive outlook to end it. I think ultimately, when push comes to shove, the event itself, the World Cup, when it happens, among the soccer community, it'll be a success. Do you agree with that?
huge hit, huge hit.
Yes, among the soccer community. And in terms of the casuals that we want to bring in, I've grown to accept that FIFA is not going to do much about it. US soccer, they never do anything about it. So why would they do it now? But I think ultimately what it will come down to is how the national team does.
Yeah, that's
Um,
how most soccer fans became soccer fans. They talk about a World Cup moment, watching Landon score a goal, watching John Brooks, Jermaine Jones's belter against Portugal. Soccer moments that captured their emotions and made them dream and be like, "Oh my God, I love this." It gave them so much happiness, and that got them into the sport. This team has the potential to do that. Pochettino, by the way, another guy defending FIFA's ticket prices, different story, but Pochettino and this team have the potential to do that. And I hope they do. I really hope they do for all of our sakes.
Yes. Yeah, to what P was saying about Pochettino was Tim Weah just said that he thought the ticket prices should be cheaper, so it should be more inclusive. And Pochettino told Weah essentially to shut the fuck up. So
Yeah.
that,
Yeah,
that's
we have to
what it.
trust that they're doing a very good job. The people in
Yeah,
charge. He's your classic old man, Tak, who's shilling for the establishment.
it's always the old guy.
Classic.
I
The
told you.
guy in
And
his
listen,
50s being like, the people in charge know what they're doing. Don't question.
and any old guy listening, I'm sorry, like you might be a very like enlightened, smart old guy, but it's always from the old people that you hear the dumbest freaking takes possible. It's also usually the old people. They're the ones that like share like fake news online. They fall for AI videos. It's always the over like 60 crowd. And
Yeah.
Pochettino's over 50, right? How old is Pochettino?
He's in
He's
his
got to be in
50s, so he's getting there.
no age. He's 54, so he's almost getting to the over 50, over 60 crowd. But he might be hanging out with too many old people, so it's always the old people. It's always them with the craziest takes possible. But yeah, the positive outlook here is that the event itself will be a success. I know there are concerns in terms of like politics and the Mexican cartel going crazy. I think when everything happens, everything will be fine. During the World Cup, at least, everything will be fine. And ultimately, what's going to draw more people in and out is how well the U.S. national team does. That might bring in more of these casuals. Now, our job, by our job, I mean me, you, and whoever's watching this video, right? We're going to be making content, trying to keep fans engaged and drawing more fans. But outside of the content part, us, me, Filippo, the regular fan, Pete, the regular fan, you watching, the regular fan, we need to invite our friends. Like,
Yeah.
we should do that too. I know it's not our job to do FIFA's job, but invite your friends, have a good time,
Yeah.
enjoy the game, buy
Host
some
a watch
wings.
party at your house, like a
Yeah.
barbecue party, host a watch party, invite your friends, invite them to come be a part of it. You might convert some of them.
And it's fun. Like, just don't do it out of obligation. If you like watching the game on your own,
Yeah,
alone in
sure.
on your couch, do that. But if you like watching it with people, don't only invite your soccer friends. Also invite those who are maybe sports fans that watch the NBA or NFL or hockey or baseball. Just say, hey,
Yeah.
give it a shot. This is the United States. It's a World Cup. It's exciting. Come watch it. Bring them in because you know what? If you bring them in and if the US knocks out of Belgium or plays well that game or wins, you might convert that fan. He's like, wait, I kind of like this because the reality is, even adults, we're like kind of like kids. We like winning. If the game is crap and the US wins 1-0, they're going to be happy that the US won. That's the
Yeah.
truth.
Also, we don't just like winning, we like guts. We like blood and thunder, right? When you see a team, which I hope this team will give us that under Pochettino, it's looking better in that department. When you see a team that's willing to fight for every blade of grass, a team that is willing to go all in, leave everything out there to try to beat a better team, you become a Cinderella story, right? The United States could be a Cinderella story this summer. We saw how America reacted to the hockey, the Olympics, them winning the hockey, both the men and the women. And we have the potential to be that with soccer. This team could become a Cinderella story. They're not going to win the World Cup, but they could beat a bigger team and make it to a quarterfinal or, God forbid, even a semifinal. And that alone would be an incredible catalyst for growth and interest and passion for the sport. But we have to make sure the eyeballs get to see it, right? So invite them to be a part of it.
I can't wait till this video is released and I start getting a bunch of comments calling us negative for some very rational, fair takes, in my opinion, and then ending the video with a very positive outlook, which I think it's going to be a success. And despite everything, I still believe in our team. I still
Me
think
too.
that they can do something special in the World Cup. Will they? There's a lot of factors that go into it. Even luck is one of them. But I think the potential is there. And I'm going to believe until we're knocked out. Until we're
Yeah.
knocked out, I'm going to believe anything is possible.
Yeah.
Everyone, thank you very much for watching. Drop a like. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. We will be reading. And also do this. Depending on which city you are, comment which city you are. And on top of that, let us know if you're getting the same vibe of what me and Pete mentioned. I'm in Central Florida. He's in LA. So we got some very different perspectives here. He's on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast. I'm on the South here. So just let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.